From one of the country's most beautiful studs to another, just down the road from Cheveley Park is Darley's Dalham Hall stud, where 2015 Horse of the Year Golden Horn is preparing for his new career as a stallion.
He came here straight after his trip to America for the Breeders' Cup, and I think has settled in really well. He's had many visitors coming to see him. He's a very proud horse. He's a very happy horse. He's a proud horse, and I think he likes showing himself off to people. And he's been kept busy. Ken and the team here have kept him busy, and no, I hope he's enjoying his new environment.
And it's quite a different lifestyle he's embarking on now. What sort of management and routine goes into preparing him for that new career?
Well, it's a different kind of fitness, obviously, to what he's had while he was in training. Ken will tell you more about that, but I think what we've been trying to do is to promote him to the world's... There he is, he's around. He's been trying to promote him to the world's biggest breeders. We've been trying to get the best mares that we possibly can to come to him in order to give him the best opportunity of launching his stallion career successfully. And
what sort of mares are of interest to you, apart from obviously just the Group 1 mares and the best mares?
Yeah.
Is there a type that you've identified that you think might suit him?
Well, I think we need to get a spread of mares in a book. I mean, he's hugely popular, so we've been able to make quite a lot of selections. We want to breed a classic winner with his first crop. We want to get 2-year-old runners from his first crop. We want his first crop to have good-looking yearlings at the sales. There are some mares who do that time and time again, and there are some mares that will give him more chance of having a classic winner. Of the 140 mares we've got booked to him at the moment, there are over 40 of them are dams of group winners, and about 40 of them are group winners themselves. And it must be extra special, as you touched upon, to have him standing within the same operation as his sire, Cape Cross. Have you noticed any similarities between the two of them? Well, obviously Cape Cross standing at our Irish farm, Kildangan, has been a fantastic stalwart for the whole Darley stallion operation, starting with Ouija Board and See the Stars and many other great horses he's bred. And so to get his son here at Dalham is fantastic for us. And again, we are hugely grateful to Mr. Oppenheimer for giving us a chance.
After he's been here about a week, he'd see a mare in the calving yard, tease him, and then maybe 2 or 3 days after that, he'd meet her again and cover her then. 9 times out of 10, most horses are, it just comes naturally to them. And he was really natural, no problems whatsoever.
Over in Ireland, many of the leading studs opened their doors to breeders from all over the world during the second running of the Irish Thoroughbred Marketing Stallion Trail.
That's fantastic. It's actually something we very much look forward to. As you can see coming in, it gives all the guys in the farm a great focus, so we've been getting ready for it here for the past couple of weeks, and first day is about down now, but it's been another great success. Cape Cross, it's fantastic to have a horse of his calibre, where we're serving the tea and coffee is called the Cape Cross Centre in honour of him, like that Golden Horn, we got huge publicity from him this year, so it's been great. Dawn Approach looks incredible. He's one of the standout horses here. He just oozes class, quality, he's got the wow factor. He's one of my personal favourites, to do what he did on the racetrack, to break his maiden so early on, the first day of the flat season at the Curragh, to win a Coventry, to win a Dewhurst, to come back and win a Guineas, to go on and win at Ascot. He had a phenomenal constitution, and one of the greats, in terms of what we've seen in the last number of years. So he's been very popular. Teofilo has had a huge year. Jim has been a great help in that. He's trained Placecock to win 2 Group 1s last year. She won the 1,000 Guineas and the Darley Yorkshire Oaks. He's had 4 individual 2-year-old stakes winners, so it's always very exciting. The 2-year-old stakes winners are the hopes for the classics as 3-year-olds, so I think it's going to be a big year for Teofilo. Night of Thunder is really settling in well. He arrived here at Kildangan just before Christmas. And again, he's maturing nicely. He's starting, you can see him just to let down a little bit. He's been very popular with breeders. Again, a phenomenal racehorse, and actually has a race record similar to Dubawi. He was an unbeaten juvenile. He won a Guineas. He was second in the QE2 in the St James's Palace. So he's been very well received.
One of the highlights of the Stallion Trail is to allow people who remember horses when they were racing to come and see them when they're now fully mature stallions at stud, and to see the similarities and indeed the changes that take place in them as they develop into stallions. Lots of our own clients will come to see the horses, but lots of new clients will come, international people you've seen here today, trainers and breeders from other countries, from England and from farther afield. And I think that's all part of what's excellent about the Irish Stallion Trail. It gives people who wouldn't normally get a chance to see these great stallions an opportunity to see them at stud, and I think that can only be good. We had a great sire here which we stood for many years called King's Theatre, who was an outstanding dual-purpose sire and very much the leading national hunt sire of his era. Unfortunately, he died a few years ago, so we needed to purchase something to replace him with more or less like for like. So the horse we decided on was Beat Hollow, and we bought him from Juddmonte Farms. And his first crop from LYNCH are now 3-year-olds, so we're really looking forward to that. They'll turn up in the Derby sales this year, and you can expect to see them turning up in the early 4-year-old races next year, and we're very enthusiastic about his prospects. Well, Lowman was a horse. He was one of our first of this group of stallions that we've stood here. He was a very, very good racehorse, winner of the Prix du Jockey Club when Frankie Dettori rode him and made all the running. And you know, he also won the Prix Jean Prat, so he was able to drop back from 10 furlongs to a mile, and that appealed to me greatly, as also the fact that he's by Invincible Spirit. He's a fine, big, good-looking horse. He's done extremely well, as we all know. We went back to France and bought another Prix du Jockey Club winner in Lope de Vega, and he also was a Group 1 winner over a mile. He won the French 2000 Guineas, and he's the son of a really successful stallion also in Chammerdal. He was raced by Dietrich von Bottiger of Gestute Ammerland and trained by Andre Fabre, and when I went to see him, I have to say I was very impressed with him. He's physically a very imposing horse, great mover, and obviously a very good racehorse. He's made a great start at stud, and he was European champion first crop sire, and sired a champion 2-year-old, which we bred ourselves, called Bellardo, in his first crop. So he's made a fantastic start. His statistics would indicate that he's one of the best young sires in the world, and certainly in Europe, and we're really looking forward to his future.
Another opportunity for breeders to see up-and-coming stallions available to them in the coming breeding season is the Thoroughbred Breeders Association's annual Stallion Parade, held at Tattersall's during the February sale. From Melbourne Cup winners to Group 1 sprinters, there was something for everyone at this year's event. Louise, tell us a little bit about the function of the TBA Stallion Parade we've seen this morning.
This is an annual event for the Thoroughbred Breeders Association. We're delighted to be able to bring, this year in particular, the first and second season stallions to Newmarket. They complement the stallions already standing in this part of the world, and as you know, the first sale of the year, we've got an awful lot of people coming along. We've got a lot of overseas visitors. It's an ideal opportunity and a great showcase for what Britain has to offer.
And how do you go about putting the list of stallions on show together?
This year we were very lucky, as I say. We had a lot of first and second season stallions, so we were exclusively offering something new for people to see. I think, as I said, there's all the stallion studs are open in Newmarket, so this particular event allows us to provide a showcase for stallions slightly outside Whitsbury Manor stud, Overbury stud. They all bring their horses here, and it's a ready-made audience. It's perfect.
And you had a good turnout again this year?
We did. I think Tattersall's would admit that we probably fill the ring better than they do for the rest of the day. And I'm delighted to say that the TBA also hosting breeders from the Czech Republic here. We've also got a lot of students come along as part of their course to this day. So we have a great spread, and it's an ideal opportunity to present the sort of thing that the TBA can do for the breeding industry.
And it's great to see some of the studs that have come here year after year. Now it's a well-established event, and you're continuing to get their support.
We do. We enjoy a great deal of support from them, and in turn, we like to offer them something back. It's a good bit of collaboration.
And are people at this stage, you find, still making decisions about their mares, and it gives them a platform to do that going forward?
Some and some, Gina. I would imagine that the smart mares have already been well booked in, and a lot of the stallions, the really popular stallions, they're probably closed. I wouldn't actually say that for sure, because I'm sure that everybody out there who's got a mare should, still making their decisions, still ring the managers, get on the websites, have a good look. But there's something for everybody in Newmarket.
There's certainly plenty of choice when it comes to choosing the right stallion for your mare. But which stallion in particular offers breeders the best value in 2016?
A horse that I like, the offspring of last year, was Mason. They were good-looking horses, and I believe the trainers that have them like them. So he would be good value, I'd say, for the incoming year. But of course, they're going to be on the track in a minute, so we'll all know for sure.
I think in England, Roderick O'Connor, who's moved from Ballyhane to the English National Stud, looks like a very lively prospect. He's 17 or 18 two-year-old winners. He's already had a couple of three-year-old winners this year, and he's had a few stakes horses. He looks, I think, exceptional value. By Galileo, he's a classic winner, Model Group 1 winner, for I think it's about £7,500.
Well, I've chosen Hot Streak, who stands for 7,000, and I think he's good value, nice commercial speedy stallion. I've chosen him for my mare, who's by Galileo, listed place mare, and I just think he'll inject a bit of speed, and hopefully his progeny will sell well at the sales.
I think in 2016 I would look at and focus very much on Capella San Severo. I think he's great value, first son of Siren Sensation Showcasing, and he stands for €4,500. There's also a breeder's bonus, which means if the breeder breeds a winner in 2019, they get a free return in 2020. And he's an obvious choice for commercial breeders because he's a precocious 2-year-old. He ran 8 times, won on 4 occasions, placed 3 times. He started off winning his maiden in April, and he progressed, finishing off running in the middle park. And through that, he won 3 times. Coming up to Royal Ascot, the Qataris paid $1.3 million for him. So he's, for that kind of sum, he's a lovely looking, beautiful animal, with a great walk, great step. And I think for breeders who are looking for a bit of value, I think 4,500 is a great value for regards to him. He's an obvious, ticks all of the boxes for the commercial side of things, and I can't see any reason why his offspring should run well.
I love Dendyman. They're tough, very sound horses, and they're affordable. And I think he's great value. I'd say this is probably his best crop, and hopefully he'll have a very good year. We bought quite a few of them this year, or last year, in Zealand, so I think he's great value.
One horse that represents a really good value, I think, is Sununi. He's had a very good start. He stands for €30,000, and his share prices seem to have been going at about 350. I think he's had a very good start to his stud career, and I think with the way the euro is declined, I think it represents very good value.
I think Bated Breath will be quite a nice good value, because he's well bred. He was very fast as son of Dan Silly. His talk is fantastically well received down here. I've been told a few trainers like them quite a lot. And being with judgment families, which is very hard to get into it, I think his progenies, with the mares that's into them as well, I think he'll fantastic in a track.
Gina, the best stallion, I think, value-wise, has to be Casamento, I think. He's a son, grade 1 winning 2-year-old by Shamardal from a very good family. I liked his stock, and, provided that his horses run well this year, I think at £5,000 he's very good value.
Well, there was one we just saw today at the Stallion Parade, Herat, who's standing at Mickley Stud at £4,000. I thought he's a good-looking horse with an excellent temperament, and he's by Dark Angel out of a Green Desert mare, so he should produce fairly early types of horses, which I think trainers will like and be pretty commercial. So I thought for his fee, he probably represents a bit of value when it's quite hard to find that at the moment in the current market.